unrealistic. Ireland savages Britain's hopes of striking a deal over Irish border. In a blistering comment on the state of the Brexit negotiations, Mr. Coveney said it would be unrealistic to expect Brussels and the UK to solve the border issue before this month's EU summit. He said, "I don't think anyone is expecting to have a concluded agreement on what the Irish backstop looks like in terms of text by the end of June. That would be unrealistic." But he warned the talks may become even more difficult if the groups did not demonstrate they made progress over the key topic. He told Politico, "We do need to see it taking shape because it doesn't get any easier in July, August and September. The absence of any progress is going to create a lot of concern that these negotiations are going to get a lot more difficult over the summer." However, the minister had issued a similar warning only 2 months ago, claiming that if the parts failed to strike an agreement on the Irish border in the run-up to the EU summit taking place on June 21 to 22, negotiation would become more difficult. In April he said, "We are now determined to make further significant progress on the backstop before the June European Council. I was very clear in London that Ireland needed to see definitive progress by June. If not, it will be difficult for the negotiations to proceed as before." Mr. Coveney also accused British ministers of sending conflicting signals over what they want to achieve with an agreement on the border, claiming he is ready to listen only to Prime Minister Theresa May. He said, "There's been a lot of conflicting messaging quite frankly from British ministers in terms of what they want and don't want from Brexit, so we've always focused on what the Prime Minister is saying, not what other ministers that may have different perspectives have been saying. She's the person who signs off on any agreements." The attack to British ministers follows a leaked conversation between British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson and guests to a Tory donors' dinner where Mr. Johnson allegedly discarded concerns about disruption at the borders as pure millennium bug stuff. Mr. Johnson would have also added that the debate about solutions to the Irish border had been blown out of proportion. Mr. Coveney admitted his ideal outcome for the talks on the border would see the UK remaining tied to EU regulations through single market and customs union rules.